Howdy there. Here to talk about The Kids Are Alright. A very enjoyable movie. Nominated for multiple Oscars this year. It's about a modern family. A lesbian couple raising kids. They each had a kid by the same sperm donor, and the kids want to meet their donor, and so they bring him in to their life, and a story ensues. I was trying to think of what ensues from there, but quality storytelling ensues from there. I saw this in the theater. This is my second viewing of the film. I'm trying to compile my top 10 list for the year, so I'm trying to rank all of the great movies I saw this year. So I just wanted to get a taste for it. And I guess I have to give it a 9, because it is very smart. It's very well told. The screenplay is probably the best part of the film. It is written by Lisa Kolendenko and Stuart Bloomberg. It's also directed by Lisa Kolendenko. I am unfamiliar with her work. I think this is the first film of hers I have seen. And I enjoyed it. Again, it's very modern. Very forward-thinking. Very well shot. It looks good. Again, the screenplay is really highlighted here. If it wins anything at the Academy Awards, I think it should probably be that. I think it's up for Best Original Screenplay. The acting is all good. Stars Annette Bening, Julianne Moore, Mark Ruffalo, Mia Wasikowska, and Josh Hutcherson. All the acting is great. Annette Bening in particular. There's a vocal argument on whether Natalie Portman really should win the Best Actress Oscar, which she most likely will. Because Annette Bening is so good in this movie. I mean, it's a shame that both of the performances had to come out in the same year, because they're both excellent performances. And I almost want to give my performance of the year to Annette Bening, because she is excellent here, and I've never been like a big Annette Bening fan. I mean, not to say that I have anything against her. It's just like I've never been like, oh, Annette Bening's in this, I gotta see it. But she's excellent here. She's been acting forever. I don't think she's won any awards. I think this is an award-worthy performance, definitely. It's incredibly subtle. It's very nuanced. It was a very difficult role. It was restrained. Whereas her main competition, Natalie Portman, gave a very broad performance, a very intense performance, an extreme, dramatic, melodramatic performance. So what was harder to do? I mean, I can say that I would not want to be in the headspace of either character for too long. But again, I got to give props to Portman, because that character was just, unbelievable. And I liked Black Swan as a film better than this film. So I lean towards Portman, but Annette Bening is unbelievable here. She's very good, and in a way I think she should kind of win, because she hasn't gotten that recognition, and Portman's got a whole career ahead of her. So I kind of am leaning towards Annette Bening. Her performance here is amazing, but she has good company too. Julianne Moore is one of the best actresses working, I think. And even though she doesn't have as much to do as Annette Bening, she's excellent here, and they make a great team. They make a great couple. Mark Ruffalo is also good. He did his Mark Ruffalo thing, looking Very handsome. Very. That leads me kind of to the one thing I have against this film is I thought everything was just a little too perfect. It just seemed shiny to me. I mean, even though I guess it was kind of true to the characters. I mean, all the clothes were perfect and perfectly hip, and you know, everyone kind of looked like a fashion model. Everyone looked like a model, and I don't know. It didn't ring true to me. You could just tell it did not break out of that independent feature. I mean, it's got that independent feel, which isn't a bad thing, but I don't know. I'm getting a little worn out with the independent feel. I think, I don't know, Little Miss Sunshine. I think that capped it. We have to go somewhere else after Little Miss Sunshine. It's got that hip indie soundtrack, which the soundtrack is very good to this movie, but it's, you know, hip indie soundtrack. I don't know, it just had that independent feel that I'm like, okay, well, I'm watching an independent movie. But you know, it's very good. I mean, again, most of the good movies these days feel like that. Just really good. It's very smart, very wise. You know, it's a life lesson if you pay attention. The characters aren't perfect. Another thing I had is the main characters are so well written and so well realized. I guess I can't expect it from every single character, but I thought the best friends of the main characters all seemed a little one-dimensional. You know, I mean, they were there to, you know, be sexy or be mean or be gross or just, you know, whatever. They just had that one note to hit, and it seems like that's all they did in the film. But I do think this is a really good movie. I do think it's a 9. Will it be in my top 10? I don't think so. Maybe not. But I have to give it a 9 because, I mean, I feel kind of guilty giving it an 8 because it's got so much going for it. So that'll make me, you know, say 8.5, which makes me round up to 9. So I'm giving it a 9. It's very sexy. And I just noticed that, you know, it is rated R. Sexual content, nudity, language, some teen drug use, and alcohol use. I guess I didn't really notice the drug use at all. Well, okay, yeah, I guess I can if I think about it. But really, I thought the language was really wrangled in, and I mean, even sometimes they go out of their way not to cuss. And still, yet it's an R just because of a little nudity. And really, I think it's just man-ass that gives it an R. So, again, we're very squeamish about our nudity, apparently. But we love our violence and our sailor language. I'm just saying it probably could have been a PG-13, and a lot more people would have seen it, and it'd reach a wider audience. But really good movie. I don't really know what else to think. It does have some humor to it. It's not hilarious, but it's funny. The way that life is funny. It is. I mean, it's very smart. It's very wise. Again, it has wisdom, and there can be lessons learned here. So I think it's probably more important than it is good, because it tells a story of a modern family. So it's very forward-thinking. So I think it's, again, more important for everyone to see because of the changing times we are in. But, again, I think it is more important than it is good. But it is very good. All the acting's great. Well-directed. Star of the show is the screenplay. The characters are very well realized, fleshed out, with the exception of all the satellite characters, which I felt were one note, even though they had multiple scenes. And, you know, the ending is kind of open. Again, much like life. isn't a satisfaction at the end. There's just, well, okay, what could happen next, you know? What could happen next? So, again, really good movie. Definitely, if you haven't rented it yet, you should rent it. I think it's definitely worth checking out. So, that's about it. Kids are all right. It's a 9. Very good movie. Thanks.